Welcome back to the Founder Series on the Good Vibes podcast. This episode is episode 2 in our arc with Dr. Beata Lerman, biomedical scientist, cancer survivor, and the founder of Sinless Treats chocolate. If you missed her origin story in episode 1, go back and check it out. You'll hear how her fight for healing and sovereignty over her own health eventually led to the launch of a mission-driven chocolate brand that's flipping the narrative on indulgence. Today, we're diving deeper into the brand itself, what Sinless Treats is, what it's made of, and why it's more than just another sugar-free chocolate bar. If you're enjoying these conversations, be sure to follow the show, like the episode, and share this art with someone navigating health from a place of purpose. Let's jump in. Beata, in a world full of low-carb snacks and sugar substitutes, what problem did you see that's made you say, we still need to do this differently?
Well, primary problem was that most sugar-free snacks are very obviously sugar-free. And what I mean by that is you taste them and you know there's something's off. Either the taste is off or what happens after you tasted it is off, like there is some kind of lingering sensation, there is aftertaste, it just doesn't taste natural. And so that is exactly where when I gave up the sugar and I was looking for a good tasting sugar-free chocolate, I was like, none of this is something that I want to continue eating. And so I was like, we need to create something that would be a functional food and at the same time have the quality of experience, the indulging, the mouth feeling, goodness of real chocolate. So that was the essence of Sinless Treats chocolate.
So even among the better for you brands, you still saw a lack of integrity and especially a lack of science-backed formulation.
Absolutely. Science is everything. And I really feel that in the space of dietary friendly foods or like low carb or low calorie foods, nobody really gives them much thought about the quality. I feel like most brands just go off the beaten path of the chemical non-nutritive sweeteners. They would put, the maltodextrins and sugar alcohols and dextroses. And yes, it's not sugar, but is it really that much better? Because when we talk about dextrose and maltodextrin and like all of these different starches, they're still carbs. They're still spike glucose levels. They're still very much metabolically unhealthy. And they still very much drives the chronic health of the nation down. So our approach was completely different. We went to the most wholesome, unprocessed ingredients, organically grown. We've established a relationship with the farmers. We wanted to cut out any influencers that don't belong in the food and address it that way.
So that's what makes Sinless Treats functional and how it goes beyond just removing sugar. That's interesting. So you're not just subtracting, you're adding function and flavor, by the way, that actually holds up. I've tried it. It's fantastic.
Yes, and that was the goal. The goal was to offer an alternative that would be exactly the same as the high-end premium chocolate. That people would not be able to tell the difference side by side, where the one that is unhealthy, sugar-packed, horrible for you chocolate versus functional, anti-inflammatory, actually lowering your blood sugar level chocolate. And so originally ingredients are the key, and where everything comes from really matters, because First of all, essence of chocolate is cacao beans. I know a lot of chocolate that people buy off the shelves, their first ingredient is sugar or something else, or, it's processed with alkali. I really personally feel we overcomplicated the chocolate. When I was in Ecuador and Peru and Costa Rica, and I was learning from the descendants of the indigenous tribes of how they made their medicinal chocolate and ceremonial chocolate as well, it is far less complicated that we made it in the current era, Western world, health damaging snack. It's actually wholesome over there. So we take the whole beans without squeezing anything out, without subtracting anything out. We grind them on the granite stones, grind it down just mechanically. So we do not take any nutrients, any polyphenols, anything that functionally makes food good. We do sweeten it, but we'll also sweeten with natural, organic, and unprocessed sweeteners that is not in fact sugar and don't have glycemic index, such as whole plant stevia that is green in a whole plant, not white and in a powder that is killing people. And we also use chicory root, which is a phenomenal probiotic. So it feeds the gut, it stimulates the brain, it protects the liver. It's exactly what we want in every food to be. So the resulting product is the chocolate that is taste indistinguishable. I mean, you probably can tell. I've been eating it for a while, but you are new to it. But at the same time, delivers the nutrients and delivers the nutraceuticals and delivers fiber that is missing from everybody's diets.
So who are you building this for? I mean, what kind of customer resonates the most with Sinless Treats?
So, it's very interesting because in the origin story I told you, after COVID, people were quitting sugar in droves. Actually, in fact, we would be at a holiday market offering samples, and some people who would look healthier than most would just run by and be like, no, 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 we don't eat chocolate anymore. Oh my God, oh my God. But so those people are finding us, people who are interested in food being the medicine, in their health coming, on the preventative side. So that's one of our customers. And the other one is people who are diabetics and have a metabolic syndrome and want to be on demand, not through medicine chronically, but actually through the functional foods. And everybody wants a reward. The reason that we started with chocolate at Sinless Treats was because I thought it would be one food that I wouldn't convince anybody to eat.
Right, yeah. So whether it's someone like you recovering from cancer or someone with diabetes or somebody just trying to avoid the 3 p.m. crash, this is something that's a food built for daily life, not just a niche.
Absolutely. I mean, we have different products at different price points. So we can absolutely do a niche all out, just this beautiful hand painted chocolate collections. At the same time, we also have something more generic, but the benefit of it is it's all made the same. The ingredients are all the same. In fact, when we're talking about bonbons, about the chocolate pieces, we only use real fruits, nuts, and spices to make the fillings for those chocolate. Like it would be, unpeeled orange in my hands before it becomes an orange marmalade. It would be real, just mouth-watering roasted hazelnuts or pistachios that we would then put in our signature sugar-free caramel to make that praline. We don't want to feed people extracts. We don't want to feed people essences. We don't want to trick the body into believing it's receiving something when in reality there is nothing. What we want is to give the nutrients that body is missing. And then just by fulfilling those needs, the brain would recognize that this is good for them.
Awesome. All right, boil it down. If you had to describe Sinless Treats in one sentence, what would it be?
Functional chocolate. Chocolate that brings health. The more you eat, the healthier you get.
A beautiful blend of joy and precision. That's rare. Beata, this has been an amazing deep dive into the DNA of Sinless Treats. What's clear is that this brand isn't created by trend. It's built on evidence, lived experience, and it's a vision for food that heals while it delights. Where should people go to learn more?
I'd love to have them at our website, sinlesstreetschocolates.com. And we're also launching our new podcast, which is called Heal Me with Chocolate. So if people are passionate about that, we're launching in May. So we would be happy to have them in our village.
Thanks again for joining us, Beata. And to our listeners, if you've enjoyed this conversation, be sure to follow the show, share the episode, and stick around for the final chapter in this arc, where we'll talk about where Dr. Lerman and the Sinless Treats brand are headed next. Until then, stay strong, stay sharp, stay aligned, and keep up the good